Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and it is so hard to believe we're already at the midpoint of the 2019 season. We're already at week 8. Week 8/week 9 is the midpoint of the year.
Arguably.
Yeah, really, it's really
Let's have a
gone.
debate about that.
It's really gone by really fast, but it's been a lot of fun. So we're gonna get right into. You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
It's really gone by fast. You know, I feel like it was just week 1 yesterday, but
Yeah, I'm fine.
it's week 8 now, so we're gonna make these picks. We got a lot of good games coming up this week, so let's get started.
I will start over here on the left side of the table for us, probably the right side for you, I think. I don't know. We start on Thursday night. Redskins versus Minnesota. Kirk is going to play his old team. They will be at Minnesota, so he was not going back to Washington. But Washington does not look good this year. And Minnesota has been picking it up. Kirk Cousins has been playing a lot better, and Dalvin Cook has been putting up some big numbers. Pretty simple choice for me on this one. I say that Minnesota will take this one. An easy victory on Thursday Night Football, 27-14.
Yeah, I know a couple weeks ago we did a video on Kirk Cousins. What we all talked about is that he needs to consistently produce. He has the receivers. He has a solid running back. In these past few games, he's really found his stride. I think the Vikings are a team that could be dangerous down the stretch, and I think they're going to make a run for this NFC North crown for sure. You know, Kirk Cousins is playing better, and, you know, it's not going to stop against the Washington defense that is, let's just say, not one of the league's best. Vikings win it 34-20.
I was going to point that out. Ever since we made that video about him talking about how he needs to improve, I don't think he's responded to his teammates. He's really responding to us.
Yeah.
He saw that video, and he was like, I got to play better, you know? That's got to be it. I find
He had to see this video, yeah.
Yeah, there's literally no other
These guys
explanation.
tell me I have to play better. You know, yeah, Mike Zimmer. No, I don't care. But
yeah.
you know, the touchdown tables. Oh, I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, I think he continues the role with his team. They win this one 30-14. Now, our next game, moving on to the Sunday slot of games. Seattle Seahawks at the Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks coming off a loss against who they play?
Ravens?
Ravens, yes, that's right. I had that.
Baltimore.
The Ravens looked good in that game, but Seattle did not look like the team they've been for a while. Atlanta only has one win. I feel like even though Seattle's on the road, I'm picking them to win 32-20.
Yeah, you know, it's the time of year where we talk about how Atlanta's always better than their record, but, you know, I'm kind of done giving them excuses. They have the talent. The fact that they have not been able to produce as much production as they should have been able to. The players are there. The quarterback is there. The receivers are there. It's just not producing. Seattle's shown a lot more promise this year, and, you know, Seattle did see their lead in the NFC West shrink, but I think Seattle is just too good to drop this one against an Atlanta team that's really got a lot of problems, particularly on defense. Seattle takes it 33-21.
Seattle. I'm with you guys. Not going to overanalyze it. You guys have covered a lot of it. I'm just going to say Matt Ryan might not be playing this game, so that makes it even worse for the Falcons. Matt Schaub might have to step in and play quarterback for them. But Seattle will pick it up again this week. 27-21. The Seahawks will fly into the other birds' territory and
Seattle.
win the fight for the cage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. My analogies are just getting worse and worse.
Yeah, we gotta put it in the description at whatever minute that was. Skip ahead 20
Do it.
seconds.
Next game is the Eagles at Buffalo. Eagles struggled on Sunday night offensively and defensively. Secondary is awful for
Yes.
the
Yes.
Philadelphia Eagles, and their offensive struggle, especially without Deshaun Jackson. He has not been there, and they really need him back to do things in the future. And then the Buffalo Bills, quietly 5-1. They haven't played the greatest teams, but they are. I mean, they're 5-1, and you got to be 5-1 for a reason. This team, this league. I'm sorry, it's a hard league to. Oh, my computer just shut off. I'll turn it on in a second.
That's a
It's a
shame.
hard league to win in, but I think that the Buffalo Bills will take one again against a struggling Eagles team. Bills are at home. Bills Mafia crowd will come out, and they will get a win 21-20, a very close game.
Yeah, you mentioned Buffalo's 5-1, and when I look at Buffalo, I see a team that wins with their defense. But I think Philadelphia is going to make just enough plays on offense to outduel Josh Allen and that Bills unit. I got Philadelphia taking the upset here. They go into Buffalo, and they hand Buffalo their first loss since that New England game in Week 4. Philadelphia wins it 23-16.
Buffalo's a team that can quietly make it to the playoffs, and no one will care.
Yeah, because they would not win a playoff game. They're not good enough to do that.
I mean, from what we've seen, I know the teams they've played, no one cares. They're 5-1, and
Okay.
not a single person cares. I think they.
I think they care.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Not a single person.
I mean, there are a lot of people that care.
Not Sean McDermott.
But people should care
Not
more,
Josh
and
Allen.
I think people should care. And I think I am a single person that does care, because I believe in this team from the beginning of the season. I said they can be good. Jordan said it as well. We both believe in this team. So they've been doing good things. Their schedule does not get much harder throughout the rest of the season. And it starts with this game. They win 23-17. Now moving on to our next game at 12 o'clock Central Time. The Chargers and the Bears, who both struggled last week. The Chargers lost to the Titans. We got endless analogies about the Titans. We don't need to go
Yeah.
into them. But they're
Watch
very,
our
very
previous picks for
inconsistent.
It's great.
And Chicago
Good stuff.
coming off a terrible, terrible game against the Saints. That being said, I think the Chargers are struggling too much. Bears not looking very good, but they win this one 24-16.
Yeah, the Bears do have a problem at the quarterback position right now, and they really got to fix that up ASAP. But where they don't have a problem is their defense, because yes, they are coming off a bad game, but I think the talent is still there. They just had a rough stretch playing against the Saints team that yes, they didn't have a lot of their key guys, but that Saints team was doing well without those guys anyway. So I think this Bears defense is still a top 5 unit in the league. So I think they hold a Chargers team that's really been disappointing. You know, a lot of people had them as a sleeper Super Bowl pick. Some even had them taking the AFC West out there. But I think the Bears defense is just too good. They're gonna bounce back, and the team bounce back. They win it 26-14.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's two teams that are struggling right now, but since the Bears are home, I think they will be able to take this one. Not going to overanalyze it. 24-20, the Bears will get the victory in Soldier Field. As we move on to the next game, just give me a second as I watch my fantasy team lose. Oh, he didn't get in. Okay. Sorry. And we're back.
We're doing our picks here.
Yeah, I don't think
care.
anyone asked about your fantasy team.
Well, I don't care. Just like no one cares about the Bills, in Tyler's opinion. Next game is
You
the
should.
Giants at Detroit. The Detroit Lions have been playing decently well recently. They ended up losing to the Vikings, but it was a good game. Their offense played great. Their defense struggled, even though they've been doing pretty good recently. And the Giants, they ended up losing to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. So it's going to be interesting to see this game, but I talked about it before. I do think that Detroit is an underrated team. I think that since they're at home, they will beat a Giants team that, although they got Saquon back, their defense is still very bad in my opinion. The Lions will slip this one away. Sign my score, 24-21.
All right, well, the Giants, they're coming off a loss in the Reach Bowl. I named it, two of the biggest reaches of the draft, this past draft, Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray going at it. I feel like people kind of let go of hating on that Giants staff for taking Daniel Jones because he won 2 games against 2 not-so-great defenses. But really, welcome to the real world. Daniel Jones was not drafted to win 2 games and create a feel-good story and get a cool nickname. He was drafted to produce consistently, and he hasn't done that. And yes, I know they've had guys out, but it's just the consistency isn't there, and you still got the pick wrong. Winning 2 games against bad defenses is a feel-good story. That's maybe some cool thing that you can talk about. Daniel Jones, he won 2 games, but the fact of the matter is that they haven't won with Daniel Jones since those 2 games. Daniel Jones in this offense, they're struggling to produce consistently. The Giants' defense, they do have some promising young players in the secondary, but I don't think they could get this win in Detroit. They could be legit, they might not be, but this game's in Detroit. I'm taking the Lions 31-27.
Detroit's a team that's a lot better than their record as well. I mean, they've been in the past 2 games, both divisional games as well, that they played in, and they've been there. Now they got another game at home against the Giants. I think they get a Giant win over the Giants, 23-21.
That's how you do the metaphor, or whatever it is. Mine are
Um,
better, though.
No. All right, next game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Tennessee Titans. 2 very inconsistent teams. The Titans did beat the Chargers last week, scored 23-20. Something I just want to mention as a Bears fan, Cody Parkey did hit the post again. He's on the Titans, by the way. So I think Tampa, they did come off a not so good game in London, but they have their bye week. I think they're gonna have time to recover. And usually, as soon as we think the Titans are going to win a game,
Yeah.
they end up flopping and losing. That's gonna happen again, in my opinion. 26-19, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest games you could ever predict because it's probably the two most inconsistent teams in the NFL. Like, this is the inconsistent bowl. You know, I talked about how last week Arizona versus the Giants, is the Reach Bowl.
And then there was the Tank Bowl the week before.
Yeah,
that.
the Tank Bowl. But this is the inconsistent bowl because really, like, how do you pick this? You know, it could be 45-42, it could be 6-3. Like, honestly, because, you know, I look at Tennessee, and I talked about in the last video, I talked about the Titans cycle. You know, they'll do bad, and then something surprising will happen, and now they're good, and then just when you say, okay, they've proven it, they can do good, they're going to come out flat next week. So I feel like something along the lines of this will happen. Ryan Tannehill, you know, he's coming off a great game, but, you know, the way the Titans go, after a quarter and a half, he'll be benched because he threw 2 picks or something. Then Marcus Mariota will come in and somehow, some way, throw 2 touchdowns, 250 yards to a receiver you've never heard of. He'll lead the league in fantasy points and lead the Titans to a win. And then he will disappear off the face of the earth after that. The Titans are just so inconsistent, and they just can't put it together back-to-back weeks. It's this endless cycle of up, down, in between. They can't put together a complete season. Heck, they can't even put together a complete 2 weeks, honestly. So I'm going to go with a team that I think is slightly less inconsistent, and the one that actually has their first-round pick from 2015 starting this game. Tampa Bay takes it 28-24.
Yeah, I'm with you. These two teams are very inconsistent, but what I've liked from Tampa Bay is Chris Godwin has played great this year. Jameis Winston has been inconsistent, but he's put up some decent numbers. You just got to get Mike Evans a little bit more involved. That defense, they've been doing all right. But it's a tough game to pick. But I am somewhat of a fan of the Tampa Bay offense. In some games they've put up some big numbers. I think that they're going to be able to do that again this week. Chris Godwin's been doing pretty good. I would not be surprised to see him have another breakout week. I just think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win this game 26-21. As we move on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the LA Rams. So the Rams recovered against the Falcons
returned.
after a terrible loss by the Falcons and a great win by the Rams. It's hard to pinpoint what was going right there. Was it the Falcons playing awful? Was it the Rams playing great? I don't know if we're going to be able to see that this week because they're playing the Bengals, who are a team that's been struggling a lot, have no wins, and that's not good going into week 8. So this one's kind of an obvious pick for me. I think the Rams will take this one. It's like candy from a baby. 31-10.
We're getting better.
Yeah, slowly but surely. So another interesting thing to point out about this game, it's Zach Taylor returning to Los Angeles, where he was on Sean McVay's staff last year. So that's something interesting to point out.
What was
you
he
know.
last year? What coaching job do you have?
He was the offensive
Ah.
coordinator.
Something like that.
Something on the offense.
He was one of the...
He knew Sean McVay, so he got a job.
Yeah, so I think it's very interesting to see these two. That's funny. Like, hey, I know Sean. Hire me. But I think it's really interesting to see how Zach Taylor is going to attack this Rams team. Obviously, because he knows them very well. He knows their players. He watched them in practice all last year. And obviously, they're our new players. But that's still something very interesting that we're going to have to point out. But you know, I'm just saying, a month from now, we're going to be talking about the Rams as one of the top contenders in the NFC. You heard it here first. The Rams continue their momentum from last week, and they take it 34-19.
I think this is a no-brainer. The Rams finally getting another win. So I'm taking the Rams to win this one 27-17. Now, another game. The Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints. Another no-brainer. I'm going to make this one quick as well. The Cardinals, although they are playing well, the New Orleans Saints are playing out of their minds with their backup quarterback. They win this one 24-12.
Here's your chance. Rip at him.
Okay. So obviously, you know, it's the Reach versus one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league right now, you know. Okay, you know, the Cardinals are 3-3-1. You know, that's the only way it's possible to be 500 after 7 games. So, cool. But really,
Unless you have a bye week.
I meant after 7, like after you played
Okay,
7
yeah.
games. But 7 weeks, it'd be different. But really, just the Saints are a team. They can win. They can win with their defense. So if you think that Kyler Murray is gonna, you know, do the thing where he rolls out and throws a flyer out every other play, The Saints aren't going to let that happen. The Saints are preparing for Kyler Murray. This isn't college football. The Saints can stop Kyler Murray because they've proven that they can win games with their defense. Last week in Chicago, they won it with their offense because they put up 36 points against that defense, which I don't know how they did it. A couple weeks ago in the Dallas game, they held Dallas to 10 points. They won that game with their defense. So the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how it happens. New Orleans can make it happen. They can win games with all three phases of the game. Kyler is going down, and New Orleans takes this one. No, I'm serious. I think that Arizona's offensive line. No, I'm serious. I think Arizona's offensive line is going to struggle, so Kyler will go down. I'd say at least 4 times. New Orleans takes this one in the blowout. They're the better team all around. Honestly, maybe even at the quarterback position. New Orleans takes it 38-13.
I'm with you guys. You guys made a lot of good points. I'm just going to give my score prediction. I have this. It's closer than what you guys have, but I have 28-23. New Orleans will win at home in the Superdome. As we move on to the next game, the New York Jets, who we're currently watching, playing against the Patriots. They are getting demolished. So it does not look like they're going to win against the Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew. So the Jets, they do have Darnold back, which against the Cowboys they look great, and against the Patriots right now he's not looking too hot.
Watch them come back.
So
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But so it's gonna be interesting to see what Jets team we'll see next week. But the Jaguars have recently lost Jalen Ramsey. They traded him away, but this defense is still decent, and their offense with Gardner Minshew is, they're still moving the ball a little bit. They're not like they're an awful team. So I think this is going to be a close one. I think it would be a fun one to watch. I'm going to say that Gardner Minshew gets another win, 20-17.
No, I think Sam Darnold outduels Gardner here. I think the Jets take this one in Jacksonville, 26-16.
Although the Jets are struggling right now, I'm going to continue to make this fast. I like this. Good groover going on. Jets take this one 28-26, a close one. Now we're moving on to Denver and Indianapolis. Indianapolis won at home against the Texans last week, and Denver lost on Thursday Night Football to the Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes was not playing for a good part of that game.
Yeah.
But I think Indianapolis has been on a roll. They're at home against a struggling Denver team. They win 24-15.
Yeah, I do think that Indianapolis is doing some good things down there in Indy, but I think this is going to be closer than you may expect because, I think, even in the game Denver's lost, they've been in it. They've been playing to the end. They've been so close. Honestly, they're 2 defensive stops away from having 4 wins and being right in the playoff mix right now. So Denver, they don't really get blown out often. They're going to play tough. They're going to be in games. Sure, they lost to the Jaguars. They were in that game. Sure, they lost to the Bears. They were in that game. So they're going to be in these games. But ultimately, I think Indianapolis is the better team here. Side note, this is the Peyton Manning Bowl. But anywho, Indianapolis takes it 23-21. I think I'm going to start doing it, giving them the bowl names. I'm going to expect more of that. Whether you like it or not.
I'm excited.
Good.
Jacoby Brissett has been playing very well recently. The Texans secondary last week was not too hot. Ryan was at that game.
Yeah, it was really not good. I saw firsthand.
He was there.
They did not. It was just not good. They did not look like a professional football secondary for most of the game.
He put a little vlog of that on our Instagram. Shout out to the Touchdown Table Instagram. Go follow that.
At the touchdown table.
At the Touchdown Table. But like I was saying, Jacoby Brissett has been playing great. I think that he'll be able to keep it up against Denver, who cannot seem to win games. Like you said, they're close. But I think this will be a Indianapolis victory in Lucas Oil Stadium, 27-17. The Colts make a push for the division.
Slow down.
I have that slowing down. It's,
they're
it's
winning the
definitely
division
possible.
right now.
Yeah, they are. They've also they
They beat
It's
the
4-2
Chiefs just
versus
like
1.
the Texans did.
we beat
we're
the
not
Chiefs by 7, but they beat the Chiefs by 8 or 6. Anyhow,
Okay,
moving on.
because that matters.
That's a huge difference.
Next game is Carolina at San Francisco. San Francisco has been doing very good right now. They are undefeated. Their defense has been playing great, and their offense, although they're not having the greatest offense this season, but they're still putting up enough points to win games. And they're playing Kyle Allen and Christian McCaffrey, who've been playing decently well. Christian McCaffrey probably a leader for MVP in my opinion, and Kyle Allen's been putting enough out there. So it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening in this game. But I ultimately think that the San Francisco team is just too good, especially that defense. Even with Christian McCaffrey, they're not going to completely stop him, but they're going to stop him just enough the San Francisco 49ers will continue to be undefeated. 23-21, they'll win in Levi Stadium. I think that's where they play.
So I think a key factor in this game, it's going to be San Francisco's defensive front against Kyle Allen, because Kyle Allen has done great things, but this San Francisco defense is doing greater things. They're really the leading defense in the NFL right now, and a lot of that goes to Nick Bosa and that defensive front. So I think that defensive line is going to force Kyle Allen into a mistake or two that'll end up giving San Francisco the win. It's going to be close throughout, but I got San Francisco taking it 31-24 and staying undefeated.
Kyle Allen, Christian McCaffrey, and that entire Carolina Panthers team moving west to try and strike gold in San Francisco.
There you go. We're building. That was good.
And the 49ers are the 49ers for a reason. They have that name. They're 6-0. I think Carolina's going to go looking for gold. But San Francisco, a team that's already been there for a while, they're going to get there first and they're going to find that gold. Jimmy Garoppolo and that team have been doing so many good things. They win it 30-26.
Don't know even what's going on over there, but
Okay. All right. Oakland at Houston is our next game. The Raiders, after a big win of the Bears, they got destroyed. Destroyed by Packers. It was.
they got lit up.
Yeah. And the Texans lost to the Colts, which I'm sure Ryan's gonna have a lot to say.
Oh, I will.
As
I
usual.
have a bowl name for this too.
Okay. I'm curious to see what that is. I
don't
think
know.
the Texans are the better team, though. They win it 27-20.
Well, my bowl name for this is the Garyon Conley Bowl.
Oh,
Because
yeah?
earlier today, the Texans traded for Garyon Conley, which, trust me, that was absolutely
Picked
necessary. I promise you, they needed to do that.
Sorry, just watching the game here. Picked off.
He's only down by 20
Patriots
now.
defense.
Um,
No, it's actually more because Sonny Michelle scored again.
Did he really? Well, what do you know? But
They're playing
anyway,
each other this week, too.
yeah, in the Garyon Conley Bowl, it's going to be interesting because the Texans, their secondary was not good, but the Raiders defense also struggled. And I just really think it's awfully interesting. I almost think maybe did they trade for Conley because they were playing the Raiders this week? Obviously, he's familiar with the Raiders' offense, their receivers. I think there might be something there. Because remember last year, they traded for Demaryius Thomas right before they were playing the Broncos. So I don't know. That's 2 years in a row they did that. So I don't know if it's just two coincidences, but that's something.
They
you should
like
be playing.
trading, let me tell you. They make a lot of trades.
Yeah, they do. They love trade. They just, here, take a third-round pick, which, that means they want to win now. That's what that signifies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in win-now mode, but trust me, that was absolutely necessary. Honestly, just to not embarrass yourself, I think you need to make that trade. But, yeah, I do think that was a good trade. I think Conley, he was a first-round pick out of Ohio State, so I think he's a much-needed addition to a Texan secondary that is. Injuries are a part of it, but honestly, a professional football secondary should not look like what it looked like on Sunday. Just watch the highlights. It was, it's still too soon for me to talk about it, but, you got to move on. Anywho, I think Houston makes just enough plays. I really don't put the loss too much on the offense, although they did have a lot of holding penalties, which was frustrating. I think Houston is the better team, and I think they win the Garyon Conley Bowl 28-26. Bold prediction, Conley gets his first pick as a Texan against his former team.
I'm not going to overanalyze it. I'm with you
I
guys.
did on that one.
I'm going to say the Texans will win this one 30-23 in NRG Stadium.
Yes.
I like naming their stadiums today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to name another stadium. When
I
we
named
get to
the
this
Bulls,
next
you got the
game, this
stadium.
is the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. The Browns have been struggling.
You didn't name the stadium.
Especially, I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it. I know it's Gillette Stadium. So the Browns have been struggling on both sides of the ball, and the Patriots, they're looking pretty good against the Jets right now. Their offense has been playing better. That was a concern, but their offense is looking good. Their defense is looking hot.
Interesting adjective.
Yeah, but I think this. I just think that the Patriots are going to keep it rolling in Gillette Stadium. The Patriots will win 27-20.
Yeah, we came this close to having the same score. I've got New England 27-21. That extra point's going in.
Ugh. Or maybe just two
I
field.
thought you guys were going to do it again when I saw that.
It was close.
It was.
Yeah. We've already done it twice this year.
I got to agree with you. I think New England's going to lock the Browns up into their dog pounds. Win this one 31-20.
They're not going to let the dogs out.
Nope. Ooh. All right, next game, the Packers at the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have Patrick Mahomes. That's a big problem for them. Their defense needs to step it up like they did last week against a rolling offense for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers scored 6 touchdowns in that last game. That being said, I think this is an upset to say that the Chiefs win this one. I have them winning with Matt Moore, 35-31.
Yeah, Matt Moore is not beating Aaron Rodgers right now. Green Bay takes it 24-17.
As much as I want to agree with Tyler, I have to agree with Ryan. The Packers offense, even without Devontae Adams, is putting up huge numbers. They're getting that running game going better. Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, they're looking pretty good. And Aaron Rodgers is doing Tom Brady type things, not having receivers to throw it like many people that like household names, or not even household names, just decent receivers. He's just finding people that no one's ever heard of before and getting them touchdowns. Something that Tom Brady has
The
been
best of them do.
used to doing. But I think that the Green Bay Packers will be able to take this one in Arrowhead Stadium.
There you go.
Move on to our last game. It is Miami at Pittsburgh. Miami is winless, and Pittsburgh, I believe that they will have Mason Rudolph back for that game. He is past the concussion protocol from what I saw earlier. But they still got
Yeah.
James Conner. Yeah, I'm sorry, Duck Hodges. We all enjoyed you, but
Yeah.
you could be a backup still.
Third string.
Well, yeah, right now he's a backup. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say.
Yep.
Well, that is what I said. Okay, Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner. They've got enough, and that defense has been looking good. I believe that Devin Bush got hurt in that last game, so hopefully he's okay. I don't know his status and everything, but they're playing against Miami in Heinz Field. Pittsburgh Steelers win
Another
21-10.
stadium.
Hmm?
You named another stadium. Good job.
I know.
Yeah,
I
he's
did
on
on
a roll.
purpose.
I got the Bulls. Today, I
Stadium
got the
boy.
Bulls. He's got these stadiums. You got the 49er analogies. So we all bring in something
That
to
was your
the
analogy,
table.
though.
And the
But
Browns.
yeah, oh yeah, the Browns one too. The dog pound. But anywho, I was very surprised when I looked over at the out of town scoreboard there at Lucas Oil Stadium yesterday. At the time we're making this video, and I saw Miami was winning, but it wasn't just like 7. It was like
Oh, yeah.
17-14, and I was like, okay, are they that concerned about Tua's ankle injury? Like, what's going on? Like, okay, what happened? But then maybe they saw, okay, he's going to be back in 3 weeks, and then they decided to lose that game. But honestly, I think Miami, they'll keep this respectable. But yeah, they're not a team that I'm convinced can win a football game right now. Pittsburgh takes it 31-19 on Monday Night Football.
I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I did think of a good bowl name for this one.
What is it? Let me hear it.
The Minka Bowl.
There you go. I like
The
it.
Minka Bowl.
That's good.
Miami traded Minka Fitzpatrick. He wanted out from Miami, knowing that they're going to be tanking this season. Going into Pittsburgh, a team that has not been doing very, very well either. That being said, I think Pittsburgh takes this one at home in
Yeah.
Heinz
There you
Field,
go.
24-10.
Good job.
And one quick thing, Miami doesn't need a tank here because they have both of the team's first round picks, so it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Go win this one. This is your chance, Dolphins.
That's a good point.
You're gonna have. You doesn't matter. You don't just which one's gonna go first. Doesn't matter. They're both yours.
Hey, maybe they take pride in going 0-16. We'll see. All right.
I don't think that's prideful.
it could be.
It
They want
shouldn't
to take
be.
that badly.
It
Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys
It shouldn't
enjoyed
be.
this one. A little shorter than the other ones we've done, just a little bit shorter.
Probably not much.
Yeah. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment your opinions down below, hit the notification bell next to that subscribe button. And once you've done all these things, you can exit out of this video, and we'll see you guys later.
See ya.